Fox 47 is taking our neighborhood news on the road to Mason's summer concert series.
Kind of their goodbye and their last hurrah, and it's always a good time.
We'll take a look at how neighbors are helping fellow neighbors in need.
You could tell when a student didn't have breakfast, and it's like the only thing on their mind. They can't think about learning or anything else because they're just hungry.
And issues going on in the community.
You just have to make sure before you buy, you don't get forced into signing papers for something that you really cannot afford.
Plus some fun things to do in this wonderful neighborhood.
Just remember, it all starts here in Mason.
This is Fox 47's On the Road at the Summer Concert Series in Mason.
Good evening and welcome to Fox 47's On the Road. I'm your senior reporter, Danny Valle. We are outside the Ingham County Courthouse here in Mason, where in just half an hour they'll kick off their summer concert series, Thursday Night Live. You can see the band getting set up right behind me. It's the first in a series of events throughout the summer that people can come out and enjoy for free. And you can feel the excitement. You can even smell the wonderful food at these tents that people are gathering here in just a few minutes for that concert in half an hour. But these types of events, not the only thing that makes Mason such a special place. It's also the community's kindness and willingness to help neighbors in need. That is why neighborhood reporter Sarah Polis is joining us now as she dove into the amazing generosity that her neighborhood has to offer. And Sarah, you know your neighborhood better than anyone.
I wanted to just talk a little bit about my time here in Mason, and one of the things that you really notice when you're here a lot like I am is how tight this community is. Everyone knows each other, everyone's willing to help out, really anything over here. You talk to one person and that needs help, somebody else is willing to come over and help like that. I mean, that is just this community, and it's really amazing to be here every day and connect with these people. And one neighbor that I met earlier this week has been helping people every single day with food donations. He runs a little food pantry, volunteers also at the Mason Food Bank, and even came by tonight because we have been doing a food drive before on the road. And as you can see, there's some food right here behind me, part of which this man donated. So here's a look at Dennis.
I check it every day.
Every day?
I check it every day.
Neighbor Dennis Quinn stops by this food pantry daily.
This here is our tiny pantry, we call it.
Quinn tells me that he's been stocking it for 2 years.
We help keep it stocked with food for anybody and everybody that happens to be in need.
And he's not only just stocking this, he volunteers at the Mason Food Bank as well.
I do that on Tuesdays.
Okay.
And sometimes on Thursdays if they need me.
Quinn says the food bank needs donations as both fresh produce and non-perishables go quickly.
Definitely peanut butter.
Okay.
Protein items like fish and beans.
We have partnered with the Mason Food Bank and LaFontaine to collect food for neighbors in need with help from the community, leading up to our On the Road event.
I used to work in the schools, and you could tell when a student didn't have breakfast, and it's like the only thing on their mind. They can't think about learning or anything else because they're just hungry. And to think that that is here locally too, that people are starving and they're just hungry, and that's just like the first need that you need in the morning.
Casey Jacobson with LaFontaine tells me that neighbors can bring goods to the Thursday Night Live concert anytime after 5 p.m.
It's a fun event on Thursday nights, so hopefully all the community will come down. We'll have a truck down there to stuff it with all the food, and hopefully we'll get more and more donations.
And for Quinn, he says he'll be there and will be bringing more items to donate.
Your thing coming up on Thursday is going to help out a lot.
Well, I'm here with Casey Jacobson, who is with LaFontaine. Casey, we met yesterday kind of breaking down this food drive, and why are you participating again?
Yeah, it's just such a big need to fill the gaps. Groceries, like we were talking earlier, are so expensive right now, and it's hard. When you have a big family, even a family of 3, it's expensive. So if we can help fill those gaps and help Mason Food Bank with their pantry and just keep it full, then we can really help a lot of families.
Yeah, for sure. When I spoke with one neighbor yesterday who donates every single day, yes, you heard that right, every day, it just really touched me because he checks this box every day to make sure it's still full, and he just really cares, and it shows, and it's just great to be here in Mason and see this type of thing happening every day.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and we need more volunteers like him.
We do,
So hopefully,
yeah.
you know, he's a really inspiration actually for just the community of Mason, which is amazing. It's such a great community. So
It is.
Everyone supports each other, and come on down tonight. Hopefully we'll fill up more of this Jeep and drop off some food.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you for all you do, and thanks for being here. And, you know, this is not the only type of thing that neighbors in Mason do to give back. And Danny, you actually have more on that. Is that right?
Yeah, Sarah, there is another special group that's giving options to neighbors falling on hard times. I'm talking about Mason Community Services. This is an organization driven by volunteers and provides a variety of assistance to neighbors in need, from food and shelter to rides and lawn care. Now, the organization also advises neighbors where to get additional support. Now, if you want to volunteer, if you know someone who wants to volunteer, or if you're in need, anybody in need of help, visit this website, masoncommunityservices.org. Welcome back. I'm your senior reporter, Danny Valle, here with your Mason neighborhood reporter, Sarah Polis. Now, Sarah, the issue of housing has been an issue across the nation and right here in your neighborhood of Mason.
Yes, Danny, that's right. The Greater Lansing Association of Realtors says the average price of a home in Mason is $235,000. That's 5.6% higher than last year, and the number of homes sold is down from 12.5% from last year.
Yeah, those statistics showing the current situation, and that's why I spoke to realtors and home buyers to find out the ins and outs of the housing market in Mason and look to see the advice on what neighbors should know.
Are you going to miss your neighborhood?
Yes, I am.
Lifelong Michigander Marcia Ludke is moving to live with her son in Kentucky.
And now you got to kind of start over. And at my age, that is kind of scary.
It's the fifth home Ludke has ever sold, and she hopes it's the last.
I wasn't a fan of strangers rummaging through my house when I couldn't be there.
Whether you're buying or selling, the housing market can have its challenges. Just ask Deborah and Gilbert Gonzalez, who have bought and sold 5 homes in the past 6 years.
We must love craziness, I guess.
Interest rates for a 30-year fixed mortgage hovered near 6.7% on April 6th, according to Bankrate. As of May 18th, those rates ticked up to nearly 6.9%.
Date the rate and marry the house, because you can always refinance.
Morgan Meredith is a real estate agent for Keller Williams Realty, and she says it's best to make a move now instead of waiting for rates to decrease.
You don't want to miss out on your dream home just because you're afraid of the interest rates.
The process is not as bad as it sounds, otherwise we wouldn't have done it 5 times in the last 6 years.
The Gonzalez's advice to neighbors: make sure you get pre-approved and find a local lender before you start looking at homes. Gilbert says it's a point of pride to own something that you can pass down.
And it's a way to invest in yourself, really, is what it boils down to, and investing in your future. And not just yourself, but, you know, family members.
So you really have to look at your budget and make sure that you can afford it in the long run.
But preparation is half the battle. The other half is timing.
You just have to make sure before you buy, you don't get forced into signing papers for something that you really cannot afford.
And if anyone watching, maybe neighbors are considering moving to Mason, you'll want to check out the Ingham County Courthouse. Such a beautiful site. And some of the shops around here too. One of them that's been around for 97 years. Of course, I'm talking about Keen's. And we are here with the CEO of that wonderful store. That is Teresa Wren. Teresa, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
It's such a lively night out here. Despite the cloudiness, a little chilly, but people are still coming out, as you can see behind us.
This is what gets people out, are the concerts. You can be sitting at home every night, but when the concert's on, everyone comes out, old and young.
Yes, and you know, people old and young always go to your store, and they have been for many decades, 97 years. Just talk about what it means to be an obvious fabric of a community like Mason.
I can't believe all the people that come in every day and where they come from, all over mid-Michigan. And it's just like we show our town off to them, and they all want to be here.
Yes, and a lot to show off too. We got the music that's going to be behind us pretty soon. Of course, a lot of the nice shops and places to eat around here. But you know, when you look at Mason, it is a community that is very tight-knit, and even with this weather, people are still going to show up, rain or shine.
They sure are. It's just something fun to do. Obviously, it's free, and you come down, there's always food here, things to eat and drink, and just you see your neighbors.
Yes.
You know?
Always important to see our neighbors out and about too, and just sharing a moment, because there's not too many moments we can all share together. So this is one of those spaces where everybody can just come out and get to know one another, all know their neighbors too.
That's true. I come to a lot of the concerts because I'm in the chamber. And it's a lot of older people. They come set up their chairs, but then there's also a lot of kids doing cartwheels and playing with their dogs, and it's just a fun time.
You know, we just had a story about Mason housing. If somebody wanted to move to Mason, what should they know about your town?
It's hard to find a home in Mason because they go fast.
Yes.
I have 11 apartments myself, and no problem renting them. Everybody that has moved in really loves being downtown Mason, above the store, being right in the community. They love it.
You know, what are some of the items that, you know, people can look at, go get at Keens? Because there's so much to get there. There's a lot of gummy treats too in there.
Yeah, well, everyone leaves with candy. So candy is number one. Our bulk candy case is the interest,
Yes.
But a lot of gifts, toys, fabrics. It's just a fun place to look around.
Any final thoughts before we leave you to enjoy Thursday Night Live?
I don't think it's that bad out right now. I thought it was cold, but it actually feels pretty good. So come on down and join us.
Yeah, a little raindrops wouldn't hurt anybody, right?
Not at all.
Well, thank you, Teresa, for joining us, and we will talk to you soon. Enjoy your night, okay?
Thank you.
Well, that was Teresa from the owner of Keens, and we're going to come back here after this, and we're going to show you all the fun things to do in our Mason neighborhood coming up this summer. Stick around. We'll be right back with more On the Road Thursday Night Live.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. I'm your Mason neighborhood reporter, Sarah Polis, and we are here live at the Ingham County Courthouse for the first Thursday Night Live courthouse concert of the year. Now, earlier this week, I was over at the Mason Area Chamber of Commerce talking with the executive director, Amy LaForge, just kind of learning about all the events that are happening here this summer, and there is a lot on the schedule, from pickleball to parades to this courthouse concert right here. And as you can see, the band is actually starting to fill in, and they're getting ready to perform. They're going to start at 6:30, and I'm just so excited to see them. If you missed a little preview of them, that's over on our website at fox47news.com. But I got to talk about all the events that are happening. Here's a look at what's to come. Neighbor Joanne DePeel says she's been at every single event the city of Mason has hosted in the last decade.
There's so many things to do.
I made my way over to the Mason Chamber of Commerce to meet the executive director, Amy LaForge, who says there are lots of upcoming events, including the first free summer concert.
Very excited to start this summer with our Thursday Night Live this Thursday, starting May 22nd with our Mason Jazz Band.
I had a chance to be at one of the Thursday Night Lives last year, and I went to LaForge's next idea too, the Ingham County Fair. Then there's pickleball fundraising and free parades.
In conjunction with the fireworks, we're going to have our Independence Day Parade. Both are going to be on July 3rd this year.
You can find just about anything to do in Mason.
Just remember, it all starts here in Mason.
And if you have little ones, she says the free Find the Bulldog event has been a hit.
The whole month of July, the kiddos love it. They go to a lot of our local businesses here in Mason, and they hunt for them and then turn in the passport. And then you get a chance to win our little guy.
And back with DePeel, she says these events can be special days on the calendar.
My son lives in Harbor Springs, so whenever he's down, I try to work it around some event.
I've linked to the dates and times of all upcoming events in Mason on our website at fox47news.com. Well, we are here in downtown Mason, and I'm with the executive director of the Chamber of Commerce, Amy LaForge. Amy, tell me how long it takes to plan this concert.
Well, we are so grateful for everyone that comes out, and we have great talent here in Mason, so it's really easy to book the talent and the bands to come. So we're really just grateful for everything.
Yeah, for sure. What, tonight we have obviously the Mason High School Jazz Band, the middle school jazz band as well. I believe believe there's 3 bands performing tonight.
That's
Is
what
that
I
right?
heard too.
Yeah,
great.
a lot of the bands out here, and it's their last performance.
Yep.
Did you hear that of the school year? And
I heard
for
that
the seniors, it's their last time.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's great.
What other people are going to be coming out here this summer?
Yeah. So we're really happy to have the talent lineup this year. We have we have concerts the 2nd and 4th Thursday starting in June, and we run through. And I do happen to have a copy of what we have.
Awesome.
So June 12th, we have Cooper Johnson.
Okay.
Yeah, he's great. He plays. He's a little country flair.
Well, he plays at Sundried too.
He is.
And what is Sundried?
Oh my gosh, Sundried is a whole weekend of music right here on the street.
Yes.
Yes, we close down the street and we just party all weekend.
More music. There's just so much music here.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we have 8 bands this year coming.
Awesome.
So we also have June 26th, crowd favorite is Sea Cruisers. We have July 10th, The Pocket, who is also going to be at Sundried this year as well. Mixed Flavors on July 24th, August 14th, Twilight Memories. August 28th is Life Support.
What a great name.
Oh, I know. Isn't that great? Everyone needs some life support, right?
Especially in the form of music.
Absolutely. That's a great support.
Yes.
And then we wrap it up on September 18th with the marching band from Mason Middle School.
Well, there you go.
It is a great season. So we're really excited. We really want lots of people to come out. Bring your lawn chairs. It's free. We do have some concessions here that you could always have dinner while you're here as well. So we have,
and it's pay what you can.
I know. That's the Optimist is amazing. And then we also have Marco's. We will have Two Guys Nomadic on the weeks that Marco's aren't here. And then you get a sweet treat from Mason College Club that all their donations go back to scholarships.
That's awesome.
It's amazing.
That's awesome. It's just great to be here in Mason, and it's been amazing getting to know you.
Oh, it's great.
I mean, you're a gem. And there's so many things happening this summer too. And we talked about a little bit about that earlier this week. But if people didn't see that, where can they find more information?
Absolutely. Well, you're always welcome to stop by our chamber office. We are right here in downtown. We're open Tuesday through Friday, 9 to 2. And then you can go to our website, masonchamber.org.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I did put the link to your website
Thank you.
on our article at fox47news.com, so you can head right over there after watching this if you'd want, and you'll find that link, and all the events will be there. There's all sorts of stuff going on.
So much going on this summer, and I really appreciate Fox 47 being here, and we love being on the road with you.
Awesome. Well, we love being on the road with you.
Thank
you, Amy.
I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Well, we will be back in just a quick moment, so stay tuned after this break.
Welcome back. I'm Danny Valle here in Mason outside the Ingham County Courthouse because we are on the road, and today I am joined by the Marine Corps Staff Sergeant Regis Troutman. And Regis, thank you for joining us. How do you feel tonight?
I feel great. I'm happy to be out here today.
It's a little chilly, so I think it's good that you have the whole uniform on. It probably keeps you a little bit warm, right?
Oh, absolutely. The only thing I miss is my white gloves. That might have helped tonight.
That might have helped. Well, we are getting ready to listen to some music, and I know we were talking about, before this interview, about recruiting efforts. So just kind of tell us, what's been the recruiting efforts like here in Mason?
The recruiting efforts have been actually really great. Got the opportunity to enlist a couple young men throughout this past couple months or so I would say it's definitely a great place to be as far as recruiting wise.
Yeah, and you mentioned not just young men like you still in school, they're about to graduate too.
Absolutely, so I'm super excited about that, be able to go to Mason's graduation and see them walk across that stage, representing the Marine Corps in their future.
I just want to ask, what motivated you to serve our country and join the Corps?
The biggest thing that made me want to join the Marine Corps is really just give back to the country, but also put myself in a position where I can utilize my degree that I'm still working on currently and get that job experience, but also just to give back to the country, like I said.
And why is it so rewarding to serve your country like that?
Oh, I mean, we live in the best country on the planet, and just fight for that freedom every day to maintain that standard. That's why it's so important for me.
Well, Staff Sergeant Regis Troutman, thank you for joining us, and enjoy the concert, and thank you for your service to our country.
Thank you for having me on today.
All right, that was Staff Sergeant Regis Troutman here with the Marines, as we are just moments away from this concert starting. So thank you for joining us here on Fox 47 on the road. We're going to have more coverage coming up.